Candidates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump meeting on the debate stage for the first time.
Kamala Harris.
What up, family? I'm back again with another video, and we're at the top of this channel. And on this channel, we'll be covering various topics. So please like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell.
Candidates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump meeting on the debate stage for the first time.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
See, have fun.
Thank you.
The vice president walking to the former president's podium to shake his hand in Philadelphia. The two
That
standing
was
just 6
funny.
feet apart. From the start, the gloves were off.
Tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling.
Trump
If
punching
you ever
back.
watched Eminem's 8 Mile movie, you know what I mean when I say she 8 miled herself. She basically tried to put all the chips on the table.
Grievances and name-calling.
Trump punching back.
She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well.
The stakes could not be higher for tonight's debate. The two candidates locked in a dead heat in polls. The economy and inflation on the top of American voters' minds. Trump laying the blame on the Harris and Biden administration.
We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%.
Harris responding.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century.
You know what's funny about this? This lady's doing the exact thing that she accused him of. She's lying about the jobs, and she's lying about this pandemic. When it comes down to the job numbers, you got to remember during the pandemic, businesses were getting shut down because of the pandemic, which wasn't his doing. Another thing you got to remember is people were still working, and people were getting laid off because they weren't taking the so-called jab. So you cannot put the job numbers on him. I don't get it.
The worst public health epidemic in a century.
Like the Trump-Biden debate, tonight there was no studio audience and the microphones were turned off.
And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had, a horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad, and she can't get away with that.
Harris responding.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
The debate turning personal.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that.
Trump claiming Biden was pushed off the Democratic ticket.
You talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her.
So I'm going to come clean and I'm going to be honest about it. I am a bit biased. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people are not honest enough to admit it, but I will. And to be honest, Trump could have done a better job. You know, he could have done a way better job. And with Kamala Harris, she's running on the same policies that Joe Biden ran on. But she has hidden agendas. That's the issue with her. And to address the Kamala Harris and Joe Biden hate, I think it's a real thing. Because I know you guys remember in the 2020 presidential race when Kamala Harris called Biden a racist. This is when she was trying to run against him for president. So that is true. And she became his VP right after he won, which is crazy. And that was in the same election race where she had to drop out. She was the first person to drop out. She couldn't get one delegate. She couldn't get 1% of the vote. So
He can't stand her.
Both candidates getting heated when discussing the issue of abortion, an area of vulnerability for the GOP.
Her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote.
ABC News fact-checking the former president.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
Harris, after reminding Americans of Trump's role in selecting members of the Supreme Court who overturned Roe v. Wade, went on the attack.
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America.
According to a Pew Research Center study, a majority of Americans believe abortion should be legal in all or most cases.
Okay, so we have a few things to address. Abortion is definitely an area of vulnerability for the GOP because this topic is like a feelings-based game. You know, you can never win with this topic. It's not a good topic because people take morality and they sweep it under the rug and they don't even care about morality when it comes down to the abortion topic. So that's one. And I thought the moderators were supposed to be impartial. You got to stay out of this. Why are you trying to check him and debate him at the same time? That's why last night when this debate was on, everybody was screaming a 3v1. I thought it was supposed to be a one-on-one debate, not a 3v1. You have the moderators going at Trump as well as Kamala Harris. That's unfair.
Most cases. President Trump hammering the Biden administration on the border, an area of vulnerability for Harris.
There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in. And all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here.
Harris defending her record, pointing to the bipartisan border bill that Trump killed.
That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
To be honest, in my opinion, I believe Trump destroyed her when it comes to the border issues. I believe most Americans would feel the same as well because the border crisis is a real thing. It's a big issue in America right now. And when it comes to these criminal immigrants coming in, I believe Trump is telling the truth with that. That's not a lie. Most of these countries took the opportunity to send these criminals off so they can bear their country. Why wouldn't you, you know? You're given the opportunity, why wouldn't you? And now let's address the bigger topic. When it comes to this bill that she's speaking of, that Trump got them to not sign or pass. She's not telling the full truth about this bill. When it comes down to this bill, what was also in this bill was to fund wars in other countries. Why would you put in a bill to fund other countries and wars at the same time as protecting our borders? That make no damn sense. And when it comes to protecting our borders, you don't even need a bipartisan vote. All you need is an executive order from the president. That's all you need. The president can just handle it on his own to protect our border. So that makes no goddamn sense. But anyway, let's carry on.
Fixing a problem.
At one point, Trump repeating debunked claims about immigrants in Springfield, Ohio.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
We definitely had some comical moments in this debate, and this was one of them. When he said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets. That was hilarious. And then the other one was when he said, run, stop, run. This guy is something else, man.
Within the immigrant community.
Both candidates going after one another. Harris needling Trump about his rallies.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there.
ABC News anchor Linsey Davis challenging the vice president on her changing positions.
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss at least every point that you've made.
Tonight was crucial for both candidates, but for Harris, it was her biggest stage yet as she reintroduces herself to voters, with recent polls showing nearly a third of voters say they still don't know enough about her.
She's a big flip-flopper and a liar. She lies about everything. How can you flip on so many policies over the course of, 3 years and 3.5 years? Makes no sense. That's how you know she still stands for what she believes in. She's lying. All she's trying to do is appeal to the masses. She believes in the same things. So miss me with all of that. And then she tried to come for him about his rallies. To be honest, I watched a few of his rallies, and they stay stacked up to the top for the whole rally, which she's lying about. It takes for her to get celebrities for people to come out. People don't even come out for her. So that's the funny thing. And everything that she does also is scripted. She pulls up to a restaurant, it got to be scripted. Everything got to be scripted. They kick the people out of the restaurant and they bust the people in that they want in the restaurant during their little video take or whatever they're trying to do. Is ridiculous.
About her. While tonight was her first presidential debate, she did not hold back.
When you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did in fact lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about facts.
Okay, here comes this word salad storm. Like, we don't know what are you talking about, but anyway, you could call me what you want, but they definitely rigged that. That was definitely rigged, because we all went to bed believing that we know who the president of America was going to be. Everybody said, yeah, Trump is going to be a president, because everybody seen him leading like crazy. So we like, yeah, he's going to win. So everybody just went to bed. And then I guess something happened overnight in Georgia. I don't know what happened. Something happened overnight where they had to stop the election. Everybody wake up in the morning and we don't know who the president is, which is crazy. So now we have to wait days to figure out who the president is after the election, which makes no damn sense. And now y'all want to put that on him to be like, oh, you lost this and that. Like, come on, man. Y'all know what y'all did. It's not rocket science. And when it comes to those charges, we all know they're bogus. Y'all really don't have anything that could stick onto this guy. Y'all know that y'all don't have anything. Because if y'all did have something, he'll be under the jail. The way y'all harassed this man, I don't even think y'all would let him live if y'all really had something on him. That's how you know these charges is bogus.
Fact.
Trump launching attacks on Harris's record.
She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Tonight was Trump's 7th presidential debate. Less than 3 months ago, he was on the debate stage facing off against a different candidate.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Shortly after Trump survived an assassination attempt, then Biden dramatically ending his bid for a second term, passing the torch to his vice president. Polling shows Harris and Trump locked in a tight race. A New York Times Siena poll found Trump leading Harris by 1 percentage point. The former president's support holding steady despite a New York jury finding him guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in the Stormy Daniels hush money case.
I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing.
Trump responding.
I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department.
Tonight's debate coming amidst prolonged conflict in the Middle East. Israel, a controversial topic.
She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself.
Comes with the BS. Trump's foreign policies is way better than her administration can ever imagine. When it comes to foreign policy, Trump is a businessman, and that's what I like about Trump. He's going to come to the table, and he's going to come to an agreement with all parties that are involved. And you're going to sign the agreement, and if that agreement is broken, he's going to take action, and that's what I like about him. That's when it comes to foreign policy, it's about business, and these people don't see it that way. Everything in the world and everything in life is business and is transactional. Everything is transactional, even relationships. So I don't understand where she comes from with this crap. This is what I hate about the Democratic Party. They're the ones that are the hotheads, and they're the warmongers. They want everybody to hate each other so bad. It makes no sense. You can't even be cordial with other world leaders. You have to, I guess, have some kind of issue with them or hate towards them. Like, come on, man. She wants us to go to war so bad. And just because Trump is cordial with Putin doesn't mean that they're the best of friends, or any other world leader. It doesn't mean that he's the best of friends with them. It just means that they sign an agreement and they're going to go by that agreement. That's what it means. I don't know why people act like Trump didn't already run the country for 4 years. He wasn't a dictator then, so why y'all keep on making these lies up? Trump has a resume to run on. That's the difference between Trump and Kamala. He has a resume.
To himself.
After the debate, Taylor Swift endorsing Harris, writing in part on Instagram, "I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them." With the election less than 2 months away, the impact of tonight's debate can't be underestimated.
What matters is what the voters think. But in the end, right now, he is tied with Kamala Harris. Does this change anything? You have to be very careful.
Okay, so we reached to the end of the video. And with the Taylor Swift thing, it's cool that she got a Taylor Swift endorsement. But if it takes a celebrity to sway your vote or give you insight on politics, I think that's a bit foolish. But in conclusion, Trump's last thoughts were amazing, but I wish he would have kept that same momentum throughout the whole debate. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment about who you think won this debate.